as we are aware, like COVID-19 has impacted, overall general population, in particular refugees, but also specifically Afghan community. That was also significant because the crisis in Afghanistan happened when we were in severe lockdown here in New South Wales. So basically, their past traumatic experience triggered, and then so people express more anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress symptoms, like being locked down at home, socially isolated, and even food shortage, seeing police officers on the streets, and specifically that they're living in hotspot of COVID. And then also not knowing the system, uncertainty, what would happen in future, and grieving and anticipating grief of their loved ones who are in Afghanistan, and they don't have the same kind of health system as we do. And overall, it's like the COVID-19 pandemic, I would say it's like a recipe for disaster for mental health of refugees, and of course, Afghans are affected as well. Counseling is a new concept for Afghans, so we didn't have this system back home. And usually people would, if they were not feeling well, they will talk with their family members, the imam and sheikh or friends and so on. And then we had like the concept of mental healthness as psychiatry. So somebody who was suffering from mental health disorders like schizophrenia and bipolar, they would have been treated by a psychiatrist, but not psychology. And so that's why it's a new concept for them. So they might not seek help, and Afghans are very internalized, and specifically Afghan men. What we need to do to increase awareness about mental health, normalize this, validate this, and also to send them to appropriate services so they can seek help. Overall, for their well-being as an Afghan, what I would recommend to do stuff that traditionally keep us well, like for instance, social connection, like seeing family and friends, of course, taking into account COVID restriction, and then also so being together, looking in doing exercises, even if it's a small step, maybe 5 minutes, we can start it with that. I mean, when I mean exercise, it doesn't mean to go to a gym or somewhere, just to have a walk around the house or something, if they have a backyard, to do it as well. But it will be good to get out of the house and kind of being more like trying to learn something new, do things that we used to do, like listening to music and prayer, listening to the Quran if it's helpful for relaxation. And then also maintaining a good diet, in like good food. Nice Afghans are so, like, food is a very integral part of our culture, and just kind of having this yummy Afghan food, but trying to be mindful of healthy eating, like reducing the amount of specifically caffeine and then sugar, but enjoying food. And then sleep is also a very important component. So we really need to focus on our sleep and do things that can help us. But if you have so many worries in your head, it's hard to go to sleep. So we need to do some kind of either meditation, like drinking a hot milk, or having warm bath, or not having a heavy meal for evening, and reducing caffeine will help to sleep better. So, but really one of the key, specifically for Afghan, of good healing is a social connection, because we are coming from a collective culture. That's why COVID has impacted a lot of Afghans when we were isolated at home and we didn't have access to this traditional support system. violence, whether the victim is a woman or a man, it is not something that is acceptable in Australian society. Overall, women experience more violence than men, but in Afghan community, like overall, like it's a good family environment relationship. However, because of the lockdown, specifically because of crisis in Afghanistan, because of the tension in the family, because of the previous trauma, it might have impacted people, relationship, and so on. So it's really important for anyone who is subjected to violence to seek help, to reach out, to at least speak with a friend, with a family member, to find a way of mediating through family members, reach Afghan community support associations, but also they can reach outside of their family kind of circles, like talking to their GP if they have a counselor, talking to a counselor, a teacher, and then also they can call on domestic violence hotline, which is 100-65-6463, and they will provide an interpreter. In case of really emergency, they can always call 000, and ask for help. And all of different organizations will provide the appropriate support for someone who is subjected to violence. But also there are organizations that they will support the abuser or the perpetrator as well, because we know that trauma plays a major role in people who are becoming angry in violence towards others. If any Afghan needs help, they can approach STARTS on 02968800, and also we have bilingual staff, but we also can talk to them through interpreter. They can also refer themselves to transcultural mental health, or speak with their GP to refer them to a private psychologist. So it's a lot of services are available for people who are suffering from mental illness or overall not feeling well, specifically new arrivals that they're coming in a new country. They may be dealing with a lot of other issues as well.